Welcome back to the Thrive Over 45 podcast with me, your host, nutritionist Stacey Nicole Smith. And this is a space where we talk all things weight loss and wellness for the woman in perimenopause and menopause. Today we are talking about another requested topic, and that is, why does willpower not work as a weight loss strategy? Why is it not lasting? So we're going to get into that today, and I'm going to help you out with what to do instead. Now, if you are a woman in peri or menopause, there is good chance that you have used willpower as a weight loss strategy before. And maybe it even worked for you in your 20s and your 30s, white knuckling it through cravings and a little bit of hunger, and you got there. But inevitably, if you were using that as a strategy, you would in fact gain the weight back. There are several reasons for that, and even more reasons of why this is not an effective strategy in peri and menopause. Now, first reason across the board, willpower is not an effective weight loss strategy for long term is because for everybody, willpower is a finite resource. What this means is we only have so much every day. So you may have already noticed you start your day off strong. You started a new diet plan, weight loss plan, wellness plan, whatever the case, and you start off strong. You have a perfect little breakfast, or maybe you don't have any breakfast at all. Maybe you're doing some intermittent fasting. Then you have a perfect little lunch, and you were doing so well, and you give yourself a pat on the back. And then by the end of the day, you are just starving and something comes over your mind and it just goes all out the window. And you get home from work and you just grab the quickest, fastest thing you can find because you are hungry and you don't even care anymore. Does that sound familiar? This is a really, really common thing to have happen. Now, the reason for this is because your willpower's run out by the end of the day. It's run out. You used it up in the morning for breakfast and for lunch, and you don't have any left. And that's why this happens, and it's very common. Now, additionally, you want to add some fuel to the fire when we are in peri and menopause with these change in hormones. I will tell you that hormones will override willpower. You don't stand a fighting chance. So don't beat yourself up. It's not you, it's biology. And here's why. When we enter into perimenopause, we start to experience a decline in estrogen and progesterone. At the same time, we start to experience an increase in cortisol, which is a stress hormone, famous for putting fat right on the belly. And at the same time, we can experience a start to insulin resistance, which means our body is less sensitive to the effects of insulin, meaning it's more likely to be stored as fat on our body or food instead of being utilized and brought up into our cells and being utilized as fuel. So we're kind of pushing a boulder uphill, if you will. And if you're using willpower, it's running out by the end of the day. Because of this shift in hormones, your hunger hormones are all messed up. They're not signaling properly. And so here you are doing the things you used to do in your 20s and 30s to lose weight, and they're not working. You're hungry by the end of the day. You're not losing weight. And in fact, you could even be gaining weight. So what do? What's in our mindset to do? We think we must be stricter. Okay, the mindset is my hormones are changing. Everybody's telling me that it's inevitable to gain weight at this age. So I guess I should just eat less and less. I guess that means my metabolism's slower. Let me eat less calories. Let me cut out carbs. Let me intermittent fast till later in the day. And you're still not losing weight. So you're beating yourself up. And now you're really starting to think that weight gain is inevitable at this age. I am here to assure you and tell you that is not the case. It is just that your strategy is really working against your hormones. That's why you're having a tough time. What we need to do instead is work with our hormones. And when you do this, willpower doesn't matter because we are doing the right things to control our hunger and to control our food cravings. Does that make sense? So instead of white knuckling it through the day, dropping your calories lower and lower and starving and being miserable and then beating yourself up on top of it, what we need to do is follow some simple strategies that work for our changing hormones, and then we need to implement them as habits every day, consistently. And that way you will start to see the weight come off. Now, one of these is you really want to start your day strong. And that means starting with 30 grams of protein within an hour of waking. Why is this? A lot of reasons. So number one is cortisol, our stress hormone, the one that's known for putting fat on the belly. It's highest in the morning. We want to cut through that. And the best way to cut through that is to balance our blood sugar. The best way to do that, have that 30 grams of protein within an hour of waking. And that's quality protein. None of this dairy this and dairy that. Quality protein. So whether that's a quality plant-based protein shake, whether that's some eggs, you can even have dinner or lunch meals for breakfast if you can handle it. But you want to have quality protein within an hour of waking. This is going to make you feel so much better. It's going to keep you satiated until you get to lunch. Then at lunch, you want to do the same thing. You want to have plenty of protein, 20 to 30 grams. 30 is better. This is going to set you up great for the afternoon. So it's these strategies of working with your hormones and installing them as daily habits and then doing them on repeat. Consistency is the key here. Now, of course, there are other elements. We want to, of course, look at healthy fats. We want to make sure we're having enough fiber. And I know it can sound confusing when, you're starting from zero, and maybe you need some guidance. And in that case, please check out the show notes on how you can reach out to me personally. But these are the things that I want women to know, because I see it time and again how you're just beating yourself up, thinking there's something wrong with you and thinking it's inevitable. And it's not true. It's not true. It's just that a different approach is required. You are not broken. Your strategy is broken. That's all. We just have to change it and work with it. And chances are, if you are a woman who's been dieting in your 20s and 30s, like most of us have, and we've been trapped in that diet mentality and going to the next red, shiny ball diet plan, keto this and intermittent fasting this and cleanse drinks this, it's just silly. It's just silly. And there's no need to do it. So if that's you, know that there is a good chance you could be eating more than you are now and your body actually releasing that excess weight. So are we clear? Willpower is not a strategy. It's not a good one anyway. It's not a lasting one. And I don't want you to beat yourself up. I see the frustration from women all the time. And just take a deep breath and understand that your body is changing, and so your strategy must change. And like I said, our hormones cannot override our hormones. So I think it helps when we have that understanding that it's not you're not weak, you're not failing, it's not inevitable. But eating this way as well is going to increase your energy levels, and it's going to improve your moods. And all of this together makes a world of difference, a world of difference. And you could be looking and feeling your best in your 40s and 50s for sure, with the right strategy in hand. So I hope that helps. Start your day off right. If you like this, I do episodes like this every week. And I'll welcome your feedback and comments if there's something you'd like to hear on an upcoming episode, and I will do my best to include that for you. If you like the show, please follow along or share it with a friend that you think it could help. And I will see you next time.